This conference will now be recorded.
I hope the screen is visible.
Yes.
Okay. So initially the machine, so maybe before the this generative AI, so the people researchers went with the initially they started the machine learning or deep learning has started in the year of 19 1970s or 1960s. In that era, it has been started. Okay. But in the high level, if you can see what's an AI, the picture is okay. So machine learning and deep learning are the subparts of the artificial intelligence. Okay. So so it will basically why we need the machine learning or deep learning. So we need to train our systems to automate our regular tasks, which is need the intelligence, right? Where the intelligence is needed uh, to automate those kind of jobs, we need this machine learning or deep learning or AI. This technology is needed. So wherever there is no intelligence, we are already doing the automation by using the Power Automate or something Python libraries we are using. So
Mm-hmm.
those wherever the knowledge or else the thinking is not needed, those can be done. But wherever the human thinking or else the decision making is needed, there you'll use this machine learning technology or deep learning technology to solve or automate that kind of problem in any industry. Suppose you might work in healthcare industry or finance or any other technology industry or manufacturing industry, whatever the industry might be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But our day-to-day regular jobs, wherever which possibility to automate, so there we want to replace the humans by using the this AML technology. That's the intuition of this technology. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
uh, so AI means the acronym for that, artificial intelligence. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so generally, human intelligence processed by the machine, especially computer systems. So that is the AI. Simply, we can say. So it involves the creation of the intelligent machines that can perform the tasks that typically require the human intelligence. That's what I'm saying, right? So wherever the human intelligence needed, so those kind of tasks will be replaced by the computers by providing some intelligence by using the our algorithm or else our pre-trained data, whatever is required for that by using that to automate the things that will call as AI. Okay. So under the, so as you see the picture, so AI has a main branch. Under that, machine learning, under that, deep learning is there. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, uh, so in the machine learning, right, mostly you'll treat with the structured data and structured data kind of things. Might be it would be a recommendation system, a prediction, or regression, or those kind of problems you might treat with. Okay. So that might be a the so generally the machine learning algorithms majorly will treat with the raw data, number data you'll use there. Okay. In the deep learning, you'll use the images, text, voice, these kind of data you'll use. Okay. Generally, you'll call image, video, or else the text data or the voice data. You'll call this as a unstructured data. Okay. Because you
Mm-hmm.
cannot directly, the system cannot understand directly by providing that as an input. Okay. So in the, so because as you know, our computers will know only the binary values, zeros or ones, right? We don't know any other value. So the behind how you can so how you can explain an image which can be understand by the machine, right? So there our part is involved. Okay, so what we will
Yes.
do, we'll collect a bunch of images. Suppose there is a cat and dog images in our real world, right? So to make our system to understand what is a cat, what is a dog, we'll collect the bunch of images. Okay, maybe assume a 10,000 images of cat or 50,000 images of cat you will take, and 50,000 images of dogs you will take, and you will provide that images, and each pattern you will try to separate from the image to image, right? So these 50,000 images will make my machine to understand, okay, so the cat will have the two eyes, four legs, okay, and size is this and height is this, something like that, and it has the tile in this pattern, and so ears in this pattern, face in this pattern, something like that. It can understand the machine. Okay, and similarly for the dog also it will replicate. So what you are trying to do here in the image level, you are trying to identify the patterns in the given image and classify that by differentiating the patterns between the classes, and then you're classifying that is it a cat or dog, like that, by using the probability, right? That's the nature how the image will work. And similarly for the text classification also, so it will try to understand the given input text and maintain the context and understand to classify the given text what it is trying to say. It's a positive sentiment or it's a negative sentiment classification, whatever the review has been given. For suppose in Amazon, for the so and so product you'll give the reviews, right? So how you will classify that? So it should understand the what the given text is, right? So for that reason, so text it can't understand, right? So first you have to identify the meaning of it and then represent that in a numbered format, and that you can provide to the algorithm. So like that it is separating the even the text to text also, right? Is a positive sentiment or negative sentiments, those kind of things.
Okay.
So it's a simply we can say, right, in the machine learning, right, the feature extraction part is doing by uh, a data scientist or else a data engineer who is the data science guy, the ML engineer, that person. Okay, who will get the inputs data. From that input data he has to do some analysis on that data and what are the important features, so those features he should extract from that, right? And then those features he will provide to the algorithm as an input, and he will try to extract the outcome. But
Mm-hmm.
in case of deep learning, the feature extraction is not needed. So whatever the raw data you'll get, for that data, you'll do that some data cleaning, or else the whatever the expected format of the algorithm you're supposed to implement, that format you'll convert your data. Okay, you don't need to extraction of the features from that. So automatically deep learning algorithm it's able to understand, okay, what is the features in this, what so because it needs the huge volume of data to identify the features and those, and then it is trying to identify the what's the outcome from that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so the difference between the both is in machine learning so explicitly you have to extract the features, and these are the features is making my more important to do this classification, those type of things you will do in the machine learning. But in the deep learning you don't have to do that explicitly. Algorithm itself it will take uh, uh, that it will consider and it will do the feature extraction and it will do the predictions. That's the difference
Okay.
between the machine learning and deep learning. But deep
Mm-hmm.
learning is need the huge volume of data compared to the machine learning to identify those things. So in deep learning, you have the nomenclature like neuron. It is similar to the human brain has the neurons, right? To keep in memory what happened from the past, or else what decision you are going to take based upon the past, right? Those type of neurons will keep the some history in memory, right? So similarly, in the deep learning also there are neurons. Those will keep the whatever the given input data in the memory, right? What the history is for that context. So those will keep in memory. So based upon that memory, it will try to take a decision when you are applying in the real world.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, NLP also. So you are seeing the nowadays the chatbots, right? Either a chat GPT or a Gamma, Google
Right.
Gemini
Right.
Pro, right? Right.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the chatbots is basically behind using the NLP. Okay. So those are the large language models which will use. Large language models means you trained on the a- a- algorithm is trained on the huge corpus of the text, so that knows the all the various concepts or things. Okay, but
Mm-hmm.
what we are trying to know, so we are asking the questions to that, and it is based upon the training history to that. It is trying to generate the our required outcome. Suppose you are trying to write a poem and so topic, something like so and so, maybe the no the writer you can mention also. So my algorithm knows the how he writes the, or else what's the pattern he will write the poem, right? So then my LLM algorithm, how it will behave, right? It will try to mimic the vocabulary how he will use in our case also. So that will writes or else returns the uh, or else generates the poem in the similar manner. What's the history for that writer? Okay, so here what you are doing, you are providing the text, right? So NLP or else whatever the chat GPT currently, right? Chat GPT is supporting both the video, right, images. So the enterprise version, okay, the free version is supporting only the text. You can ask the question in the text, it will respond. Either you can ask the regular science question or math question, whatever the question you can ask, right? So because it's
Mm-hmm.
trained on the all the domains, so whatever the best knowledge it aware, or else whatever the based upon the training, based upon the training, it is giving the some response. Okay, and even for the Google Gemini Pro also are getting the, or Vertex AI Vertex with that. So those also you are getting the some uh, okay, or else a better response compared to the maybe more than the human knowledge you are getting. I can say not the experts in that area, but regular human. I suppose I don't know the healthcare domain, but I know the basics of healthcare. But compared to me, ChatGPT can give the better answers, because it's trained on all the topics of the healthcare area, right? So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of things is happening. So either you can do the language translate. So in the NLP, right? NLP where you use text analysis area, language translation, or sentiment analysis, or speech recognition. In these areas, you use these NLP algorithms. Okay. So basically, the thing is the chatbot is to replace the voice agents or else whoever the telecallers, right? So to replace them, right? By using these chatbots, because if you train based upon your industry needed the chatbot. So whatever, so maybe suppose you are currently maybe you are running a supporting system, right, for your products, maybe by using the
Mm-hmm.
100 people. But if you replace it with that chatbot, maybe you can minimize that with the 10 to 20 people instead of 100 people, right? So those kind of things is going to be helpful with the help of the chatbots. So the human is needed anyway at the bottom line, but to manage this chatbots are for those things, because sometimes you have to see, right, how the model is behaving or else the chatbot is behaving. Is our customer is satisfying with the chatbot responses or not? Those also you have to identify, right? So those and feedback mechanism you have to take how it is performing with respect to the customer. So those tweaking and retraining, those will be part.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the bottom line is machine learning or deep learning are like super smart assistants to help to solve the problems and make decisions in our day-to-day lives. Okay, so we can say like those are the a friend like thing. Okay, so to make the decisions very fastly, or else even if you want to send an email to the your some person, right? So if you give the context to the details, right? It will generate the email content, something like that. Those things is going to, and recommending a movie, or else driverless cars nowadays we are hearing, right, by the, right.
Right. Right.
Those are the behind is this AML. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So real-time use cases you can see in healthcare domain, CT scan, MRI scans. There you can replace with this, and predictive analytics in the disease diagnosis or prognosis in that area, drug discovery and medicine treatment, and recommendation the treatment, something like that. Those area also you can use. And in the finance, fraud detection, credit card, credit score, or risk assessment area, or in the stock market, in those areas you can use. Okay, those are the different areas where you can replace with this AIML. Okay, or else
Mm-hmm.
and in retail area, recommending a product, so and so product, and customer, how many customers I am going to lose in this month, or something like that. Those churn prediction, retention strategies, those you can identify by using this predictive classifiers of the machine learning and those things, right? And in a machinery and manufacturing industry, the machine, how much, if I run continuously, if I run this machine for the 200 days or 300 days, so what is the impact? Which part is going to be failure? When I should maintain the, when I should do the maintenance for this machinery without going for the downtime, right? So those you can identify. And quality control, like did any defects or any problems on the produced products, those things. And supply chain area, energy consumption area, these all areas we are going to use, nowadays currently using those things. Okay. So as we discussed, autonomous vehicles for the self-driving cars, predictive maintenance for the vehicles and fleets. Okay, traffic flow optimizations, right, and route planning, driver behavior analysis, safety monitoring. Suppose if the driver is driving the car, he's maybe in the drowsiness, or else he, so those it can identify and can give the alarm. Okay, so to reduce the accidents and those things can happen. And marketing and advertisement area also. So
Mm-hmm.
sentiment analysis for the social media and monitoring those area, personalized content recommendation, advertisement, right? Campaign or optimization, SEOs, you will do the campaign, right? So SEOs, so those type of campaign optimization where the, it should, if you should promote this ad, you will get the more views, something like that. Those
Mm-hmm.
things. So these are the all the areas, or else the real time use cases where you currently using this AIML. Okay. So the basic advantage is you are doing the automation, right? And compared to the human, you'll get the better accuracy, and you can know how the on what basis insights you can identify, on what basis it is taking the decision, those you can classify, or else you can see the more insights between the based upon the data, those things. And it is giving the on this spot a real time outcome you are getting, right? So within the seconds you are seeing the output, right? Because that's why the autonomous driving car was there. Otherwise, if it is taking the processing time, more time, right? So it cannot be, you cannot implement that in the real time. Okay, that will become a problem. So that's about the history of the before the generative AI. So what's the machine learning, what's the deep learning, what's the NLP, that's the details. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
hope
Okay.
theoretically it's clear for the machine learning and deep learning and NLP.
Yeah, it's a lot, but yeah, yeah, it is clear. But one thing which I wanted to understand, Nehru, like
Hmm. Hmm.
for a candidate like me, right, who is from a different background altogether, right,
Right, right, right.
like BI, BA. I mean, I
Hmm.
mostly work with SQL, with data and stuff like that, right, doing some visualizations on top of it,
Hmm.
right.
Hmm. Hmm. Right.
But for me, tuning into AI, how difficult is this, and what are the prerequisites which we need, right? And how easy for
So
will it be for me to
this
adapt
program,
this?
right? What we are focusing is the, maybe to cope up with the generative AI in the current trend. Okay, so how you can utilize or how you can build an application with the generative AI. Okay, so
How do
basically
we create an application?
with the generative AI, generative AI,
Okay, okay.
because AI. Uh, so you are currently the current era was or else current trend was in the generative AI, right? So nowadays everyone is looking for the generative AI
Right,
area. Okay,
right, right.
but to be frank, okay, the person should have the well versed in this ML and DL NLP. That is easy to understand. Okay, the generative AI. Okay, but
Okay, but with
what
someone
I'm
with
trying,
someone with
sorry.
not having much of math background, right? How
Generative
can?
AI is not needed the math background, okay? But deep
Mhm.
learning, machine learning is needs the math background, okay?
Okay,
That's the,
okay.
yeah. So generative AI, you are going to use the some applications how you can tweak or else with the existing algorithms by taking that. Okay. Suppose with the generative AI, what you will do? Okay. You have some corpus of the text with you. Okay. Assume multiple documents in your company. Assume there is HR policies or company finance policies. Those type of documents you will have, right? So
Mhm.
I want to create a chatbot with that. Okay. So what I will do, I will take the existing algorithm. Okay. I will provide my custom data to that. Okay. I can create a chatbot on that. Okay. If anyone needs any HR policy or else a finance policy or something like that, they can just ask my chatbot. It will get the prompt response based upon my document. Those kind of applications you can create,
Mhm.
but for that, how it is working, what's the behind of that, you need the some NLP concepts. Okay, so
And
something
is
like,
it possible to create a dashboard with the data with using generating AI?
yeah, dashboard means Power BI dashboards. You're trying to say a
So
data
let's say,
visualization dash.
let's say you are saying that you can create an application with generative AI, right?
Hmm, hmm,
So
hmm,
it
hmm.
could be any application, right? It could be for any department, any industry,
Right,
right?
right, 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 right.
Right. Similar to
Hmm,
that, right? Let's say I
hmm.
have a set of data, right? Let's say I
Right,
have
right.
some finance data, right,
Suppose
with me.
maybe what you have to do, right, to do that. Okay, maybe you want to implement that. So if you have the data, you should provide the data to the chatbot. Okay, and you should mention the what are the columns you should want to. It will give the some automatic some responses, but at the end, right, whatever your outcome, you should aware, right, what is it generating, you don't know.
True.
But
My only
you
question
express,
is now the generator. I mean, see, the
hmm,
chatbot it's open source, right?
some are
Is it
open
a?
source, some are open source, some are
Yeah.
enterprise level.
So when you're asking me to provide some data to the chatbot, right, which
Hmm, hmm,
is
hmm, hmm.
some confidential data, right?
Right, right, right. Hmm.
How would that impact? Like, is it really
So
possible to do
actually, for
that?
that reason, right, we have the AWS, right? So and we have the Azure related OpenAI. So separate platforms we are using. Okay. And another
Mhm.
thing was what we are doing was on premises when you are doing, right. There is no chance of the sharing of the data if you when you are
Mhm.
training. So if you don't have the capability of the machinery in the on-premise, okay, suppose small companies cannot afford, even the bigger companies also to maintain the local machinery,
Mhm.
because the downtime or those reasons, failure of the machines, that will create the more downtime or more failures to the machinery. Okay, so most people will prefer with the cloud platform, right? So either Azure or AWS or GCP, they will prefer, right?
Mhm.
So the platform is bound to the for security purpose, right? So it cannot be shared by some others, the security data. But few people still is not believing the cloud services, or else not belief on them, right? Because there that might be shared by the some others, or that might be using by them. Who knows, right? The cloud party itself, right? So that's the
Mhm.
reason few people will do the on-premise developments. Okay,
Mhm.
so it's basically our to our customer. What's the belief? So few people believe the Azure services, few people will believe the AWS, few believe the GCP, right? The existing cloud service. Few people will believe on-premise. Okay, based upon the customer or else based upon our requirement. Okay, if you have the on-premise system, you can develop your application on-premise itself. Okay, because
Mhm.
the training process, if the is needed the maybe a machinery which can process very fastly. Okay, a bulk machines is needed for that. Okay, So for that
Mm-hmm.
reason, so if your company is affordable for that, you can train in your local. So then your models is not the data is not sharing with anyone. It's in your on premise. Okay. But if
Mm-hmm.
your client or else you has the belief on the some so and so cloud service, then you can use that cloud service because uh, uh, the policies with the service was the data should not be shared with anyone other than you, something like that. Okay,
Right,
whatever you
right.
will give the yeah permissions to the so and so person, those persons only can view that data. So in
Yeah.
that way, you can secure your data. That point of view,
Mhm. Okay.
but
So
yeah.
do you so for me to get you know master in generative AI, what are the
Mhm.
main prerequisites? So you said NLP and all this
Anything,
stuff.
whatever the AI or else whatever the maybe deep learning, the programming language, what I prefer is the Python programming language
Okay.
because the
Mhm.
in the libraries, Python is the programming
Okay.
language
Okay.
because libraries was available, all the math or whatever the libraries, what is needed. So that's the library. Sorry, that's the programming language I'm going to use. Okay.
Okay.
Uh, that's the maybe if you know the basics of the Python, that's well and good. Otherwise, in the first few sessions, maybe 3 to 4 sessions.
No,
Whatever is
I mean I learned Python, but I never used it, so I probably have to start it over
yeah, yeah,
again.
because we are not a Python developers, right? First thing, okay, Vikram, okay.
Right.
So
Right.
we are not going to write a Python application or else how to do that. That part I'm not going to cover anyway, okay.
Right.
So what I will try to cover to develop my generative AI application, whatever is needed, something like it's very easy. Maybe I will use the some OOP class definition or else the function definition like that, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
how you'll write a for loop, how you can use the data structures of the, how you can use the list, how you can use the dictionary. Those basics, if you're aware, fine. Or else, if you're aware of the any other programming language, also fine. Because when I'm implementing that, okay, you'll try to mimic, compare with that with your language. That is easy to understand to you, right? Anything is fine
Mm-hmm.
in that because I'm not going to do any complex things in the development point of view because which is so my goal is to create an application, okay, with the
Mm-hmm.
my platforms or else with that. So the medium is the Python is the programming language I'm using. That's it. So
Okay.
I'm not
Okay.
going to develop something like a huge code, maybe thousands lines of code. I'm not going to do like that. Okay. So I'll just
Right.
give
Right.
the details. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is maybe I'll write, if suppose if I write a function, what's the function is doing, I'll give the those details, how you can write that. Or else if you're defining a class, how you can inherit the class, or else how you'll do that, those details I'll give. Suppose if I'm doing the list, why I'm using the list, or else if I'm doing the dictionary, why I'm using the dictionary, maybe those details, right? You'll understand in the first few sessions, 3 to 4 sessions, you'll understand. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
in the day-to-day sessions when I'm doing, right, so I'll do the mostly the live coding in front of you. Okay. So the reasons you will understand because my thought also you'll understand if I do the live coding in front of you, right? So because why I'm using that for loop, why I'm using the some function, those you'll understand why I'm using, right? And
Okay.
similarly,
Mm-hmm.
in the generative AI application side, I'm going to use the open source LangChain is the platform I'm going to use. Okay. And
Okay.
yeah, those details I will explain. Maybe still one more PPT is pending, and I will show the course content. Those details is still pending. So you understand, right? What's so because okay, what I forgot one thing. So in the NLP side, so few basics is needed. Okay, something like text pre-processing. What are the things you will do? Okay, and word embedding. How you will do the word embedding, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those things is needed. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
vectorization, those terminologies, a bag of words, those terminologies needed, right? So what I will
Mm-hmm.
try to do, right, I will try to cover in a first week of session, right, all the details of the this NLP topics. I'm trying to give the theoretical background, or because you have to understand how the backend is working in the generative AI. For that reason, I'll give those details. Okay.
Right.
But
Right.
if you want to implement that maybe explicitly in the NLP area, you have to do the some work from your end. Okay. But
Right. Right. Right.
yeah, but how the generative AI is working, those details to get to understand the intuition point of view, I will give the theoretical details. What is a bag of words? What's a TF-ID of vectorization? Why we need the vectorization? What's the word embedding? So how you will do the stemming and lemmatization? What are the some terminologies will be there, in the text
Hmm.
pre-processing, those I will try to give the some theoretical details. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So then
Okay.
you'll get the understanding of the how the NLP is working. Then
Hmm.
okay, why we come to the generative AI, why we need the generative AI, those parts you'll get to understand. So then
Hmm.
LLM behavior, those I will. So in the so maybe 70% of our discussion would be in the implementation point of view, 30% on the theoretical point of view. Okay.
Got it. Okay. Okay.
The total
No.
course is okay. Yeah.
Sure.
So
Sure.
this is about the before the generative AI. What are the technologies was there in the AI/ML? Those the details which I covered now till now. So I'm jumping into the generative AI. Give me a minute. Hope the screen is visible.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see.
Yeah. So in the generative AI, right? So so basically, uh, it, maybe the meaning of the generative AI, if you understand, okay, the purpose of the generative AI, I can say. So what you are doing in the AML, so something like you are doing the prediction, classification, or recommending, those things you are doing, right? In the
Hmm.
regular AI/ML area. So,
Right.
but with the
Right.
generative AI, what kind of problems you can solve? Like, suppose if I know if I want to solve a problem, so I will give the problem, please solve this, something like that. Okay. But suppose if I want to write a SQL query, assume, okay, but I don't know the SQL, okay. I know the simple English language, so I will say, okay, so and so table, I want based upon this condition, write a some query and do the some joining condition with this table, something like that. I written in a simple English language to my application, Azure. Okay. So what my
Hmm.
application will do, that text converts into the SQL query, Azure. Is that good then? So because you don't know the SQL, so you whatever you know, or else whatever you want to implement, that you should just tell to me, right? It is converting that, right? So then fine, right? And similarly, you written an application in Java, assume, okay, I want to convert that application into the Python, assume. So language to language, one coding language to another coding language, you can, if you convert, that's more helpful, right? Whenever the transition is happening from one platform to another platform, that is more helpful. So that kind of things, okay. So
Hmm.
and suppose generating a poem, as I told, or else write an essay on the so and so topic, okay. So what basically we are doing, we are generating the sum, or else we are translating from one form to another form, right? That kind of things you are trying to do here, right? You are not doing any classification or prediction or recommendation or regression. Those things you are not doing here, right?
Hmm.
So generative AI is helpful to generate some text or images, okay, based upon the your input query or context, whatever you will provide. So it will generate the, suppose if you want to maybe if you want to create a resume based upon the job description, so if you give the job description, if you ask add so and so, so add so and so details to my resume, it will do if it's do that, that's helpful, right? So those kind of things. So
Hmm.
basically it's trying to generate the images or generate the text, okay, based upon the user input or user prompt, I can say, okay. So it's not going to do any prediction or classification thing, okay. So it can helpful in case of the uh, generating a text or images, those areas only the generative AI is going to be helpful. Is it clear? Suppose if you take in the chatbot also, assume an example, you can ask a question, it will give some response, okay. So that's a generation of, suppose how I can solve this problem, something like that, you ask a chatbot, it will give the response to that. But if you ask something like uh, some one second, what is the market price of the so and so stock tomorrow, assume if you ask, right?
Hmm.
The chatbot cannot able to answer because it don't know the prediction, right? So that's the reason. So it's, so generative AI may not able to solve, but if you use the back end some prediction or some classification algorithm, then it is able to do, okay. So That's the details about the generative AI high level. Okay, generative AI basically useful for the generating the content either in a text form or else image form. There only it is helpful. Suppose if you ask, give me give maybe you provided a photo of sample photo of you. Okay, you might ask like, okay, tweak this image into the if I if I was there in front of the Eiffel Tower or something like that, if you mentioned right, it will just map that image and do the some photoshopping, those kind of things it can do. That I'm trying to say as a generation, generative the
Got
images. Yeah, yeah.
it. Okay, got it.
So here what I'm trying to explain in this page, right? So create AI systems that board capabilities and mimic human intelligence across the various domains. That is the generalized artificial intelligence meaning. Okay, but
Got
multi-domain proficiency. Okay, unlike the other AI applications, right? AI, generative AI models can adapt to perform well in different tasks and environments because it's trained on the huge data, right? So that's the reason. Okay,
it.
Gen AI systems constantly learn from the new data and experiences, improving their performance over time. So, whatever, not only for the Gen AI, even for the AI or ML applications, right? So, first you will try to build an application. Okay, maybe it is giving the 70% performance, assuming as per your expectation. Okay, then you will tweak it and you will provide, and where it is failing, those kind of things you will do. Then it will make the that to the increase to the 75, 80, 85, something like that. It's an iteration process, step by step. You will try to do that.
Okay.
So the key components in the generative AI, okay, either a language model or a vision or a multi-domain AI. Okay, language models means LLM models. Okay, by using the natural language models, okay, enable machines to understand, interpret, and generate the human image, human language, those areas. Okay, and computer vision. Okay, so to generate the images or videos based upon the given input or else the context, it is trying to create and generate the image and videos there. Multimodal means it has the both image and image and text. If it is supporting, those we will call as a multimodal AI. Okay, if your application is supporting the both, in that case. um, so basically chatbots and virtual assistant is the example. Okay, and content creation and translation, as we discussed earlier, right? One language to another language, translator, content creation, those areas. And medical diagnosis and drug discovery, those areas we are using the the Gen AI applications. Okay,
Mhm. Okay.
so data pre-processing, so the life cycle you can see data collection and preparation you will do. Okay, and model architecture selection, which model should be suitable for based upon my required outcome. Based upon that, I will decide the which model I should use, those details. Okay, and fine tuning and evaluation, those you will do once the model is trained. So when before the deploying this part you will do. That's the life cycle in the Gen AI, right? And so basically you have to address the few things, right? Whenever you are training, right? So bias and transparency you have to address. Okay, so something like if you have same kind of data if you are providing for the training of the any model, right? So that will be a biased model. Okay, we should provide a fair and a right response model, right? So because of that reason we should consider the variations in the data. So that's the reason. And making Gen AI decisions transparent and understand it's essential for building the trust, right? So if I say why I'm doing this decision, then you'll get the more clarity, right? That's the transparent and explainability is needed for the Gen AI, right? Privacy and security, protect the user data, ensuring the responsible use of Gen AI technologies is a paramount. Okay, so
Mhm.
protecting, right? That's the one of the part. So where you will deploy once your application is ready, right? Either you can deploy in the cloud or else mobile or else any other in IoT application, wherever you want to deploy. There you can deploy the application based upon your use case once you train the application. So either you can deploy it the platforms or frameworks you can utilize, or else you can make that application as an API you can make, or open source resources you can utilize, right? So generally in the platforms case, as I told earlier, LangChain is the platform we are going to use. I will give the details of the LangChain platform, why we need, so what are the services it is giving the LangChain platform, those, and
Mm-hmm.
those details we can cover. And Hugging Face, LangChain, those are the things we are going to use in our GenAI course. Okay. And how you can convert that regularly we'll convert our program, or else whatever the task, right, whatever the application, will convert it to the API. That API will provide into either mobile device or else a web application. We will provide that API. That API will invoke the, we will provide the input to that, and it will invoke the outcome, and it will provide that. So those kind of things we will do. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So Gen AI side. Okay. So as I told you in the first time, so in the first page, so um, it's for the generating or creating the things, if you give the some input. Okay. But it's not for the either a prediction model or as a classification model. It's not like that. Okay. The behavior of the generative AI, that's the bottom line with respect to the gen AI.
Okay. Okay.
And give me a minute. Let me open the course content. Hope the screen is visible.
Yeah, it's suitable, but yeah. So,
Yeah, 1 second. Let me maximize. So in the first sessions, we will discuss about the how the evaluation of the NLP. Okay, before deep learning, what is there? After deep learning, how it is transformers. So some introduction to the LLM, how the LLM is behaving. Okay.
mhm.
Uh, what is encoder and what is decoder in LLM? Okay, why we need those? In that we will discuss. Okay. And LangChain platform side, I will give the some details. Okay, how the LangChain will works, those details. Okay, what are the important components in the LangChain? How you will do the data ingestion? How you will do the data transformation, embedding vector stores? How you will do that details. Okay, and so that how you can building a Gen AI app, or some example we can take, and how you can understand the retrievers and chains. These are the maybe nomenclature I can say in the Gen AI side. So that's the reason you might don't worry about the nomenclature. Okay.
Mhm.
And how you can do the Olama setup, or else the other application setup, how you can do those details we can see. And building an LLM application by using the LangChain expression language. Okay, how you can build, and how you can deploy as an API, how you can track that, those details you can see. And you can build a chatbot with conversation history using the LangChain. So we are going to build the maybe 7 to 8 applications in this course. Okay. So
Mhm.
with the real time examples we are going to cover. Okay. So something like that, building a chatbot with conversation history, conversational Q&A chatbot with message history, right? And what is the RAG is need, and what is the Q&A, RAG documentation. Q&A RAG is, what is RAG, those you will cover. Okay. And you can build a some search engine, right, similar to the Google, how you can create a search engine to do the queries and the data, and you can extract the things. Okay. And similar to the, as I told an example, right, suppose if I give the human kind of text, and it will convert it to the SQL database, those kind of uh, application we are going to build. Okay. And text summarization. Okay, if you give the huge corpus of text, maybe a 20 pages of the text, if you provided, if I summarize that into the maybe 1,000 lines, or else a thousand words, if I summarize, okay, that would be easy to understand, right? Those kind of text summarization. Suppose if I give the
Mhm.
text and to give you a math problem solver. Okay, the math problem, if I provide in the text, how you can solve, okay, that kind of problem implementation, right? And if I have the multiple PDFs, okay, how you can build a chatbot, something like that. Okay. If I has the one, suppose from the Java to the Python, if I want to code conversion, how you can do that. Okay.
Mhm.
So hybrid search, right, vector database, those point of view. Okay. Something like graph database for query language, so those will cover. And some fine tuning things of the how you will fine tune the LLM models. Okay, how you will use the open source models you can use. So we'll cover here. Okay, and
Okay.
how you will evaluate once the LLM model end to end completed, how you will do that by using the some of the platform. Okay, so
Okay.
yeah, these are the whole content which we are going to cover in our uh, uh, in our course, the Gen AI course.
Okay.
If you have
Sure.
any questions, you can ask Vikram. That's it from my side.
I'm good for now, Nehru. I mean, I'm just processing more stuff.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, okay, Vikram then.
Cool. Um,
So you're clear, right? What I'm trying to explain, or else any doubts? What I explained in that point of view.
yes, I'm clear on that part. Yeah.
Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, okay, Vikram then.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Nehru. Thanks,
Yeah,
Prakash.
okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
bye.